Hello, it's Andrew Eborn here. Welcome back. Straight after this break, I'm going to be joined by politician and grime artist Sonny Green.
Are you going to show your face? Or?
I'm going to show my face. How are you doing, Sonny? You all right?
I'm very well, mate.
Good,
yeah, very good.
I haven't seen you for a little while.
Yep, it's been a few years, hasn't it?
I think the last time I saw you was just when you were about to release your debut EP. I think Grime is Punk, but 2016, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah. At the Child of Jago at the warehouse.
Yeah, that's right, because you wear a lot of Joe's stuff, don't you? Joe Curry's stuff.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So what have you been up to?
Just getting on with it, really.
Right, but are you surviving life in lockdown? Because are you still in Southend?
I am indeed, yeah. No, life in lockdown's good. I think that we've adapted to it quite well in terms of work and stuff and just moving forward. I've been looking after my son a lot and I've been running the Trouble Tongues event every night online.
Right.
And it's actually been a real blessing in disguise for us. Just because now we've just connected with other parts of the world that we'd have never been able to if we was just doing our event as usual in London without any restrictions.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, Sonny, because what happened, so many artists were going to do lots of these live gigs, and they've all been basically grounded, haven't they? So a lot of people are doing stuff online. Are you doing much of that stuff as well?
Yeah, it's all on Instagram. So that's what we've been doing. We went live on Instagram for 40 nights in a row doing Trouble Tongues. That's at Trouble Tongues on Instagram. And we was the first ever platform to do a international virtual slam final, like poetry slam final.
Right.
And it was just like a huge success. We raised $1,000 within, I think it was like 5 days. And half went to the winner. And the other half went into the community projects that we run after all this is over. So yeah, it's really powerful.
No, fantastic. But you miss the live gigs as well, though, don't you?
Yeah, of course. We definitely miss the live gigs. But what you do, you just have to carry on, don't you? So
yeah. So how many did you actually have lined up?
What, live gigs?
Yeah.
Well, we have a monthly night. And obviously I tour with Asian Dub Foundation as well, and those shows with the sound system and those shows have just all been put on hold as well. So I don't know exactly numbers.
You did your first one with Asian Dub Foundation at Brinsworth Farm, wasn't it?
No, I don't know. Where's that farm?
Oh, Brinswater Farm, not Brinsworth. Brinsworth, I think it's a prison. Brinswater Farm.
No, Broadwater Farm.
Oh, was it Broadwater Farm? Okay.
Yeah, which is an estate in Tottenham, and that's where I met them. That was on a secret cinema tour.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you did about 50 extra dates with them afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, a few years later, after that, because that was a part of. Do you know about secret cinema? You ever?
I do. I've heard about it, but tell us about it. Tell us a bit more.
Yeah, so secret cinema, they put on like interactive. They play films and then they make the film kind of like an interactive experience. So we done La Haine. So obviously it's like a lot of hip hop, graffiti, that kind of stuff, rap involved with it. And I was one of the like street performers as like a poet and a rapper kind of thing, like popping out in the crowd and performing as people was coming into the event. And Asian Dub Foundation done the live score for the film. So right. we done Reading and Leeds Festival, Broadwater Farm, La Troxy Theatre, Wilderness Festival, and a couple others as well. And then after that, a few years later, they asked me to come on tour with their sound system. Yeah.
No, brilliant. And how did you actually get started, Sonny?
Started doing what? Creating
in music, yeah, career-wise.
In a community centre,
Right.
Connections Community Centre. Yeah, at the time there was a bit of funding, I think, for the youth centres and stuff, and we all had brand new Macs. and we worked out how there wasn't no studio stuff, but the Mac had a built-in microphone, and we worked out how we could record songs straight onto the Mac. So that's what we done. And then I was like 13 or something, and I recorded this one song, and then it kind of went around my school and stuff. And this was like in 2009 or no, 2010. Ago with Bluetooth. No, it was 2009, so Bluetooth was still quite big, and everyone was Bluetoothing the song around. And then after that, I just didn't look back really, and I've been writing lyrics and making music ever since. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Now, and I'll tell you why I thought Brinsworth House is the place just in near Staines, which is the place for people in the entertainment business. That's the care home where they retire. Of course, it's Broadwater Farm, work on that sort of basis, which is good. But your first EP was Grime is Punk, and a lot of people appearing to a sort of a wider audience. Why did you pick that title?
I think it's because the way I perform. A lot of people, even there was the guy Steve from the Buzzcocks. Is it Steve? Pretty sure it's Steve. Is it Steve? Anyway, one of the guys from the Buzzcocks, he's going to watch this back and probably be like, as if you forgot.
Not as bad as the Brinsworth House and the Broadway.
Yes,
Farm,
you know,
you're right.
We're doing a good job at ballsing all this up.
No, it's all right.
But yeah, one of the guitarist from the Buzzcocks, he compared me to being like the next Johnny Rotten and stuff, and it was 40 years of punk, and the way I perform is quite punk-esque, I guess. So yeah, we just decided to call it Grime is Punk because it, you know, there was a lot of talk of it being the new punk and all that, and it was DIY movement. It was very similar, but people just were, you know. So yeah, it just kind of happened, and then we done Grime is Punk Volume 1. It was reasonably successful, and then done Volume 2, and that was that really.
Well, it was more than successful. I mean, the Guardian had Bars as the single of the week, didn't they?
Yeah. It was track of the week in the Guardian, and yeah, it got played on Radio 1 and stuff. Yeah, it was great. It was good. It was great. So yeah, it was good energy.
And in addition to the Asian Dub Foundation, you've also worked with Pete Doherty.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
He got into someone's car and they had my CD playing in the car.
That's a great way of doing it.
Yeah, and then from there, they invited him to come to one of my gigs at Passing Clouds in Dawston at the time. He didn't come, but his manager did. And then when his manager come down, he really loved me, and then he invited me to support Pete. So then I supported Pete at Brixton Jam, and that's where I met him. And yeah, then Andy Boyd, which is Pete's manager, or was Pete's manager for 10 years, offered to manage me. So that's what he does. He still manages me today. Yeah. So then, yeah, I worked with Pete for a bit, done a few songs and stuff, and done a few gigs, and that was that really.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And in terms of the management stuff, because apart from the music, you're also a film director, and you did your own
No,
video.
I'm an actor.
And an actor as well.
Yeah, I don't really direct.
Didn't you direct the video Statue game? Was that one of yours?
Yeah, I directed that. Yeah, but that, again, it was very DIY, homemade kind of. You know, also edited it and filmed it as well.
That's still directing, but a lot of actors do get into directing as well. But you've got you say an agent who's helping you with the acting side. You've been working on a movie. Tell us about
that. What film are you talking about?
I think Lorna was telling me about one in particular that you've been working on, but you're waiting to hear back from it. Is that right?
Oh, well, it's like all these things, you know, you do films, the short films and feature films, and they just take a few years to come out. So I think the one Lorna was talking about was
a gypsy film. A gypsy film is what she mentioned to me.
Yeah. I was playing an Irish traveller. It was about Meadow Lane. And yeah, that'll be out soon. It was Darren Harper was the director.
Right.
Luke Harper, his brother, was the DOP. And Darren Harper's in Southend, is like really one of the most established kind of actors and stuff. He's been in Game of Thrones, so he directed that, and that'll be out soon.
That's
I'm
brilliant.
tempted.
It's always very difficult with these things because you do lots of work years and years ago, and then they get put on hold. You're not quite sure what's happening behind the scenes. And the industry at the moment is in an extraordinary position because they don't know, production's all on a halt. I imagine the editing can probably happen, but getting things out in the traditional way is obviously put on hold, really.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, there's no film festivals going on or anything, so there's literally no point in releasing a film at the moment because it's not gonna do a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they've got the film festival. They're all going online, which is why that's the new norm, if you like. So even the Cannes Film Festival, they're going to hold a lot of that online. You've got all these different platforms where people can interact on that sort of basis. But
Yeah.
getting a movie out is difficult, and it's the same with music. Although really, as you say, a lot of artists are now being able to do stuff online. They're doing these online concerts in the same way as you're doing as well. Have you managed a lot of changes as a result of this new norm?
Yeah, yeah, but you know, they're good for the time being, but not for a long period of time. And obviously, we need to this whole thing needs to move along as quick as possible, really, because even with the live thing, we done 40 nights in a row doing Trouble Tongues and hosting that as a spoken word platform. But you know, like you said, it doesn't quite match up. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can get off it, like in terms of the actual experience for the listener and for the entertainer or the performer. The buzz is like it's just not the same, you know.
Yeah. So how are you coping? Because I know a lot of people in the business. I actually find it's a massive strain because if you're used to playing big stadium and so on and so forth, not to get that sort of interaction is quite challenging, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it is, man. But you know, obviously everyone else is in the same boat, so it's like you can deal with it like that. But I think just getting on with it, man. Just being humble and just exercising, going for long runs, all the kind of cliche stuff that you hear, how people are getting through it, really. So it's just the same as that. I do a lot of like meditation and all that sort of stuff, you know, whatever. So it all helps.
And in your video gratitude game, you have a dog. Is that your dog, or did you borrow one for the day?
No, that's my dog. Yeah.
What's your dog called?
He's a husky cross staff. His name's Mystic.
Okay. How old is he? When did you get him?
He's nearly 3, and I got him. He was a rescue dog. Yeah, so I got him about 2 years ago.
Yeah, there's so many, and I think the staffs are always the ones which are rescued, aren't they? If you go to a place like Battersea Dogs Home, there are so many of them. I think people just don't really realise how much responsibility, how much work they actually are.
Yeah, but there's lots, and also the staffs are probably one of the most common dogs, aren't they? But he's actually like a husky cross staff, so you very rarely see dogs like Mystic. But it was a bit of a rare circumstance, anyway. How I got him, I won't go into it, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was very quite unusual, anyway.
Give us a hint, Sonny. You're not normally so reserved. Give us a hint. How did you
Oh
get
no,
him?
it's just like yeah, it's a bit of a long it's a long story, but basically what happened was there was a bit of a family feud, and the family split up, and everyone went their separate ways, and the dog was kind of left just in not like with nowhere to go, really. So then my mum took him, but my mum already had 2 dogs. So then when I come round, she's like, she didn't know what to do. They was kind of like sizing each other up. So I've had him from there, and since then he's not spent a day without me. So
That's quite touching. Did you grow up with a dog?
yeah, always, yeah.
What other dogs did you have?
I had a Jack Russell, and then I had a boxer cross staff, and then another kind of mongrel type dog. Yeah, and a German Shepherd as well. We had a German Shepherd called Luke. There's always been dogs around my family, always. So.
But they're brilliant. They're always part of the family. We discussed this with a number of people beforehand, and it's quite tragic because when you lose them, it's like losing a family member, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. What about you? You had dogs, Andrew?
Loads. I grew up. My mother was on the south coast, and we used to have about 18 horses, and we had about 30 different breeds of dogs, from the small Jack Russells to we had a Great Dane called Sabre. We had an Irish Wolfhound who was called Ivan, and we also had cats, lots of cats. All of them, lots of rescue. My mother did loads of work with rescue stuff. So we had one sheep and one goat and things like that. But brilliant growing up around animals.
Yeah, we had a goat as well. We had a goat. Well, we didn't have him very long, but basically we went to like a farm, I think, in Colchester. I think it was either Colchester. We went to some sort of farm.
Right.
And anyway, my mum decided that she wanted to take one of the goats home. So we ended up with a goat in the shed. Like we had a big like out-house shed. Yeah, so we ended up having a goat, but he kept like attacking everyone.
I know, they're really vicious. And I'll tell you what, we had a billy goat and it stank. Absolutely stank. What was your goat called?
I think he was called Billy.
Billy, imaginative. It's good.
He wasn't very original. He wasn't original.
Right, very good. And apart from music, Sonny, you've got heavily involved with politics and things like that. You were the first rapper, if you like, to perform at the House of Commons, weren't you, with Fatboy Slim?
Yep.
How did that come about?
Well, that was through the last night at DJ Save My Life charity. They just asked if I'd perform there, so I said yes, basically. And that was a while back now. So, but yeah, I think at the moment I'm probably distancing myself more from politics, just because the more I've been getting involved with it, the more I've realised how just what a complex and I wouldn't say dark, but what a complex and there's a lot of infighting, I think, in all parties, and it can be very counterproductive.
Right. Well, you actually stood as a candidate in Southend.
No, I was going to stand, but due to this, they have put the local elections back another year.
And you're not planning on standing anymore?
Well, more will be revealed with that one.
Oh, you can do it here. Do it now, Sonny.
No, I can't. More will be revealed. We'll soon find out. I'm yet to decide at the moment. We're seeing how things play out within party politics, and yeah, but you know, there's no rush. The candidates usually have about 9 months, so I'm just going to see what happens and then make that decision.
It's quite exciting. And what do you think of the political situation at the moment?
Again, I'd just rather, I don't know, I'm not, I don't even want to go into it really, because I'm just trying to focus on positive things at the moment.
Well, there's an answer. But it is extraordinary, isn't it? And what I found fascinating is the different approaches that people have around the world to deal with the coronavirus. What are your views on that?
Yeah, I think my views really are just, they're not really, they change every day when it comes to the whole dealing with this pandemic. So I'm just not, I don't think I'm qualified to even have a view. I think that's the problem at the moment, is that
We seem to have lost you, Sonny. Can you hear me? Well, that was Sonny Green.